House.
The question is that the motion be agreed to. I call Lewis or Ward.
Mr. Speaker, tēnā koe te māngai o te whare. I ngā mana i ngā reo rangatira mā, tēnā koutou, tēnā tātou katoa. I ngā iwi o Ngāti Hineuru, aku whanaunga, ngā mihi aroha ki a koutou. Kia maumahara au I tēnei rā, ko Aunty Emmy te huihui ngā Walney Bush, ka aroha ki te whānau, me Uncle Robin, ngā toru, ngā here Janice, nei konei anōnei. Nō reira, nau mai haere mai ki te whare parimata I tēnei rā, motu haki. Kia ora, tū Kahupiwa as Chair of the Hineuru Iwi Incorporated and all of our whānau. Today is a special day. Today is the Hineuru Claim Settlement Act will be passed in this Parliament. I'm incredibly proud to stand here as Ngāti Hineuru, representing our whānau in this Parliament on this incredibly significant day. Ko titi o kura te maunga, ko mohaka te awa, ko te rangihiro te tangata, ko Ngāti Hineuru te iwi. Hineuru, daughter of Tūkuha, descendant of Apa Hapai Taketake. Our rohe within the following rivers: Ripia, connecting with the Mohaka, to Te Hoi, to Hautapu, to Te Puka Hunui stream, to Matakuhia stream, to Waipunga river, to the Oko Eke stream, to the Tunamaro stream, back to the Ripia. Our rohe within the following whenua blocks: Mohaka, Waikare blocks, Puke Hunui, Runanga, Pohokura, Heru Iwi, Whirinaki, and the Kaingaroa. Ngāti Hineuru, who has links with Ngāti Apa, Ngāti Manawa, Ngāti Whare, Ngāti Tūwharetō, Tūhoi. Our ancestors, including Kura, snared titi at night by raising a net in the air and building a bonfire behind it. The birds attracted by the light would be snared by the net, hence titi or kura. So why are we here today, whānau? What happened to Ngāti Hineuru? Well, according to the Waitangi Tribunal commenting on the 1851 ahuriri purchase, and I quote, "It is also doubtful whether all parties with rights in the land were consulted, fully understood and agreed to the transaction. For example, insufficient effort was made to obtain Ngāti Hineuru's agreement. Instead, their consent was essentially acquired ex post facto when the transaction was a fait accompli." Between 1863 and 1870, Ngāti Hineuru were victims of Crown raupatu. We suffered armed invasion, military attack, destruction of our property. We were exiled to Whare, to the Chatham Islands, and some of our whānau were executed. The Crown were the thieves, the Crown were the murderers. Samuel Locke, resident magistrate in Taupo, had come to believe by February 1869 that Ngāti Hineuru, and I quote, was practically extinct, with most of our lands confiscated. I'd like to read through what happened in terms of our history. So the pretext for the confiscation was the so-called Battle of Omaranui in 1866, when a group of Paemarie supporters encamped at Omaranui was attacked by Crown forces. Some of those at Omaranui were Ngāti Hineuru. Te Ringihiroa, Hineuru's principal chief, was killed at Pitane on the same day. Following the Battle of Omaranui, survivors of the battle were transported to Whare. The Omaranui detainees had not been given any kind of trial, whether civil or military, a process which the Waitangi Tribunal has found to be illegal. In its Mohaka ki Ahuriri report, the Waitangi Tribunal found that, and I quote, the manner in which confessions were extracted after Omaranui and the prisoners' indefinite detention on the Chathams without trial amount to breaches by the Crown of its duty of active protection and its duty to act reasonably and in good faith. Subsequently, many Ngāti Hineuru people were with Te Koti's whakarau when he led the escape from the Chathams, and from 1868 until 1872, Te Koti's fate and that of Ngāti Hineuru's were intertwined. The Waitangi Tribunal analysed the events at Ngātapa at length in its tūranga report. In this, the context of the concession by the Crown that unarmed prisoners at Ngātapa were executed by agents of the state and that this was a breach of the principles of the Treaty of Waitangi. Executed was Ngāti Hineuru leader Nikora Te Whākau Nua. I looked at the history of Ngātapa in preparing for this third reading speech, Mr. Speaker, and I'll just quote from this source. So somewhere between 86 and 128 people captured or surrendered at the end of a siege were stripped naked, lined up against the side of a cliff and executed without trial by government forces. One of the attendees that day, a J.P. Ward, who was a member of the Armed Constabulary, wrote, and I quote, "In all, some 130 odd of the defenders of Ngātapa were captured in the bush and gorges below the pa where they lay asleep, having had neither sleep nor water for 2 days. They were marched up the hillside again under the outer wall, as it were, of the pa they had defended so long and so heroically, stripped of every vestige of clothing they possessed, and shot like dogs. There was no mention of a trial or of any or all of them had participated in the Bay of Plenty Matawhero massacre. That did not matter to us one straw. They were shot and their bodies left to swelter and rot under the summer sun and bones to bleach to this day. And all this and very much more is done beneath the flag of mighty England." We don't know our history. New Zealanders do not know their history. What the treaty settlement process enables is for us to reclaim our history. Ngāti Hineuru have committed to 6 po of their settlement. The first is the restoration and protection of our cultural heritage and history for future generations. Our tamariki need to know our stories. And through this treaty settlement process, through pieces of legislation such as this, Mr. Speaker, our whānau will never forget. So there is an opportunity for us to commemorate our history through education, through language, through culture. Ngāti Hineuru have also committed to the restoration of the health and well-being of our people. And one of the main priorities is to ensure that our whānau have housing and that we create health centres. There is a recognition of the mana of Ngāti Hineuru and restoration of the relativity Ngāti Hineuru had with other iwi of the region. Primary focus for Ngāti Hineuru will be on our relationships with our fellow iwi, but also our local and central government representatives. There will be a reassertion of the presence of Ngāti Hineuru through our rohe. So there will be information boards, names that are relevant to our whakapapa. We will rebuild an economic base for Ngāti Hineuru, and there will also be revitalisation and restoration of our role as kaitiaki of our resources and environment, and an implicit commitment to the revitalisation of our fisheries and bird life. I've read the latest Te Kokonga Kōrero, and our whānau are committing to Hineuru scholarships. So one of our main focus will be on ensuring that our tamariki have the best access to education. And there's also an emphasis on our trustee elections. So we're trying to get as many of the whānau involved in the post-settlement entity as possible. And in there, Te Kokonga Kōrero, Hineuru ka tupu, ka ora, ka ria. Hineuru, we grow, we thrive and we prosper. So, Mr Speaker, it's my absolute pleasure to speak on behalf of Ngāti Hineuru in the House today and to commend this piece of legislation to the House. Thank you.